Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Why Ukraine YouTube channel. Thanks for joining my live stream. I can't make any guarantees about how this everyone go today. Welcome to the Why Ukraine YouTube channel. And I've got a reverb. Thanks for joining my live stream. There we go. We're going to talk about what's going on in Ukraine briefly, but I have to tell you, I'm sick. That's why I missed the last two live streams. And if you can't tell from my voice, and I actually feel like, I just drank a Theraflu, kind of pounded it basically. And I think that my, I'm basically high right now, guys. That's what's happening. Okay. UTV and Ham, thank you for popping in. I saw that you successfully tested my the Why Ukraine Shopify shop and bought a bunch of stuff, which is really super cool. Thank you very much. And also someone bought a tourniquet, which is really awesome as well. Well, everybody's here. Shirkan, Sakai, Tridents Against Tyrants, Bell. Thank you so much, Bill. So I haven't been able to speak to Paul, who's the winner of our the winner of our contest, to make sure that he yes, Cheryl, too many chickens. Yeah. They are starting to grow in their real feathers, which is pretty awesome. JPH, thank you. So I apologize. Today, for one thing, Rick the Ukrainian is doing a live stream at 7:30 today, and so it's perfect for me to just, yeah. Sakai, if I cough too much, let me know. God knows I gave you shit like a couple live streams when you were coughing. I apologize for that now. Catherine, Cheryl. Man, Cheryl and Shirkan and Flo and Bell, I'm glad to see you guys are all kind of getting together, the Southwest branch of the Last Alliance, which is really, really cool. Anna, it's kind of feeling a little bit like Tornado Alley just now here today. We had this major like storm come through, wind blowing, dark clouds, literally 20 minutes ago. And now I look out and the sky's blue. It's really wild. It's also probably a good thing that I didn't try to do a live stream yesterday because thank you, Elvin Arter. I hope I feel better soon too. It's probably a good thing I didn't do a live stream yesterday because due to the massive attacks this past week by the Russians on on the Zaporizhia Dam. If you didn't know, I know the orcs are constantly launching these attacks. Okay, so but this one was particularly bad. And yesterday we had a lot of power issues here. But today, apparently, they said that they're not shutting us off today. So, that's the thing is, they're rebuilding this as fast as they can, and I know they're also they have these connections going into the EU now for electricity, and so, but those lines can only take so much, So, the big news that I have. About the Zaporizhia Dam. Yeah, Elvin. Speaking about that, I was at the dam, in 2021 down here, and if I'm not mistaken, because I was on this island, and it's this dam that's right here, and it's the connection between the two halves of Zaporizhia. It's a beautiful dam, actually. It's just kind of strange. You don't think of dams as, I don't know. If you're into that sort of thing, I guess, is what I would say. You can kind of, just to give you a sense of what it looks like in peacetime, that is the dam there. And I've been swimming. I've swam across the river right around there, actually, interestingly. So yeah, it's and that if they if they break that dam, it's Jesus, Mike, what would happen, right? I mean, there's no reason for them to, other than just sheer stupidity. Honestly, this is already drained, so I don't think it would have that big of an effect. Excuse me. Yeah, this might not go too far, guys. Patrick received internet time at the asylum. wait. We have Patrick's time. Okay. I love reading your posts, Patrick's time. Thank you so much for coming. Biden said, but look, the idea we're going to send offensive equipment and planes and tanks, trains going in with American pilots and American crews. Just understand and don't kill yourself, no matter what you all say. That's called World War III. Yeah. No, I agree with you. That's what Putin started. He wanted to start World War III, and that's exactly what he's doing. And you're helping. That's your goal. Elvin Archer here. A Kiev Post had a great doc earlier about the energy system built in the Zhytomyr region being expanded to other areas. Yeah, I did not. I knew about that, but I didn't see the doc. Is a documentary. That's very interesting. I've been kind of out of it for the last week or so, guys. So, I mean, obviously, there's been so much happening. Yeah, that's the question, KKSGG. I think most of the power capacity was destroyed. I will try and find that here on the Kiev Post page, Elvin Archer. If you wanted to post a link to it, I think you should be able to. I'd love it. I'd really appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Squiggle, if you don't need portability, consider sealed lead acid marine batteries. They have some big ones. Yeah, I actually have a large size like truck battery. It's about 1 meter long upstairs. It's not sealed, I found out, because I had it shipped here, and they shipped it upside down. And when I opened it up, there was battery acid all over the inside of the box. But yeah, yes. I do have that, but what I don't have is a full house inverter. So that battery, I've got just a small cheapy little inverter, and it's only enough to power like the internet router and like one computer. But the electricity issues were so bad yesterday. Oh, look. Oh, I see it. I think this must be it. Elvin Archer, this might be it. I think I found it. This might be the one. But anyway, the electricity here was so bad yesterday that at the time I would have been doing my live stream. We actually normally, if I lose like my fiber, because I have fiber coming into the house here, and that will usually remain on as long as I have power to the modem. That will usually remain on because it comes from a different section of town. And anyway, the point is, if that dies, then I can usually go off of my phone, and I can get anywhere from 40 all the way down to about 10 megabits at the lowest off of my phone, 4G on my phone. But yesterday, we had such a bad power outage that I didn't even have 4G on my phone. All I had was like Edge network, which is a sign that They were down to like generators on the using generators on the on the cellular towers. So yeah, it got pretty bad yesterday. So one thing I want to say right now is that okay, a big important thing. First of all, before we get into anything else, I need to talk about this, otherwise I'll forget. Next weekend, I'm going back. Hopefully, I'm planning to go back to visit the 63rd. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm going, but to another part of Ukraine. Okay, to visit the 63rd Brigade's drone team laboratory. That's where they do all their repairs, where they're building drones, and the purpose of this is so that I can talk to their technicians and find out not just what drones they need, but remember, we've talked about this, at least on the Discord, and we've had some discussions. I don't want to just supply drones, though that's good. Okay. What I'd like to be able to do is supply the little piddly little parts that people need in the drone laboratory. All motors, or if it's controller boards. Patrick's time. That's a good question. What kind of support does Zelensky have in Ukraine? Zelensky's support in Ukraine is less than is less than his support outside of Ukraine, ironically, in the West. People have a very circumspect view of politicians because all politicians are just automatically considered to be corrupt just by the fact that they are politicians. And so you will find a lot of different views about Zelensky. They certainly don't worship him here. They, it's they want to keep things, keep your politicians on a short leash. Yeah, correct. What Real Dave Seaman said is correct, Patrick's time. Ukraine should not still have elections right now because, first of all, 20-something% of the territory, the people can't vote, and then another, maybe some say as much as 10 million, but I think it's less people are outside the country, and the difficulties of that. So I don't think that Zelensky wants to stay in power any longer than he has to. I think as soon as this war is done and he's able to step down, he's gonna he's gonna be like, bye-bye. I'm going to like some island in the Caribbean, okay? Because I'm tired of this. That's honestly what I think he's gonna do. Good questions though. Thank you. Hey, Apatox, good to see you, man. Sorry I sound awful. And I'm a little bit loopy, like I said. So anyway, yeah, I think it's really important. For one thing, I think it's cool that we're buying drones, and I want to continue to do that. But there's something about being able to buy one thing or contribute to buying one thing and say, I bought that one thing. I didn't just put $5 in, towards a drone. It's like I bought this tourniquet, or it's a reason I have a lot of low cost things, because I know that we're not freaking rich. We're not rich, man. If we were rich, we'd be doing something different. So we're all just doing what we can. KK's GG, you make a very good point. Given Muscovites' propensity for hitting civilian targets, yes, let's get crowds of people queued up at the polls. Yeah, exactly. They're salivating for that, I'm sure. Yeah, I think most people hate their own Elvin Archer said that. I think most people hate their own politicians. Poor Zelensky has such a hard job to manage the country. Yeah. Before the war, my understanding of Ukrainian politics perhaps exacerbated. Hey, Dimitri, good to see you, man. He could go back to comedy. Can you imagine if he went back to doing comedy? Holy shit balls, Cheryl. That's hilarious. I mean, maybe that's what he'll do. I noticed the major project has gone off Discord. Oh, you're talking about I'm sorry. Okay, brain cells, come with me. Come on. Homes for Heroes, right? Yeah, well, unfortunately, the people I was hoping to do that with decided not to. And hey, Nikki, good to see you. Good to see you. Not to be involved in that. I don't have anyone else to help me with that right now. So, although I will say that I've had now several Ukrainians. We're talking about getting trainers together, and I kind of put out feelers here locally with the local military people, and they are really excited about the ability, the opportunity to come and train volunteers in different things, pre-military, quasi-military, like, just safety stuff, basic movement. We're not talking about shooting. Thanks, Yogi. Hot whiskey voice. Yeah, my girlfriends used to always say, like, wow, you're so much sexier when you're sick. And I'm like, fuck you. I mean, so I want to do it, but I maybe I'm to be honest with you, my original goal still holds, right? My original goal is to join the International Legion, and it's kind of a race. It's a race because if my back is fixed before I set up, it's kind of, it's just a delay, right? James makes my boxers drop. I should just fake talking like this all the time. I'll just get on here and do a Tom Waits impression, Charlie, I'm pregnant, living on 9th Street, Anyway. What was I saying? Brain cells. Oh, it's a race. It's a race between what do I do first? Do I get this training thing happening, or does my back fix itself? And of course, I'm working on that every single day, and the necessary exercises and things. And then I go back to the International Legion, and maybe I go to the International Legion and I spend some time there, and then I come back and I do the training. I'm not too worried about it. I'm trying to do everything everywhere all at once. And the next step that I have to take in a very short time period here is, yeah, yeah, Real Dave Seaman, man. I'm a big Tom Waits fan. I don't know. Now, Tom Waits, Leonard Cohen, anybody who writes good but can't sing worth a shit. I love them. So, used to have all their albums. Anyway. Miss Cheryl, yeah, Biden's approval rating is currently 36% compared to Zelensky's 65. Yeah. Okay. What was I saying? What I was saying is, I'm just going to keep working on stuff. The next step that I have to do is to set up a nonprofit in the United States. And I intend to do that this month. That is my goal. I can do that remotely, and it's just, it's the next thing on my list. I am literally sweating right now like crazy. I think it's the fever breaking. Yeah, no, I used to sing the blues cipher, I've been in a band or two, Anyway, so I want to talk about some things while I've got you guys here, and while the Theraflu's working, you know what I mean? Herb. Well, thanks for coming anyway, my man. Was talking about you the other day when you missed one live stream, and I had this patch. Hang on. Shit. Oh yeah, here it is. I have this patch here, and I just want to show it to you briefly. Herb, I don't know if you saw this. It says, "Free people have guns." Yeah, I don't know why I thought you would like that, but you don't want to hear me play harmonica, KK's GG. And someone last live stream thought I said 3 people. That says 3 people have guns. No, it's free people. No, I do not play the harmonica. I mean, I can make sound on the harmonica. I used to torture my grandparents. They made the mistake of giving me a harmonica. Anyway, so yeah, this sucks, and it caused me a lot of problems yesterday with the
Ракета летит. И вон еще одна.
Sucks
Вон вторая. По второй ГЭС.
It sucks because this place is so beautiful, and this island is so ancient. This is modern, of course, but it's a pagan thing. But this island was the intersection at the end of the Neolithic, the intersection between the Indo-European peoples who were on the eastern side of the river and the first farmer advanced Kukutani Tripilia culture here. And I got to go on an archaeological dig on this island. I can't remember where it was. It was on this island. I can't find it right now, but anyway. Yeah, free people have guns, Cypher. I thought you'd like that. It's one of the patches we're going to give away. And yeah, the Yamnaya culture. Yes, Dimitru. That's correct. Yeah, so I got to work on an archaeological dig for the Yamnaya culture on this island here in 2021. Thanks, Herb. Say hello to your wife for me. Yeah. I hope she still wants you after listening to my sexy voice. Yeah, but Dimitri, I'm it's one of the things I'm fascinated by that time period in Ukrainian history. The late Neolithic, early Bronze Age time period. I think it's amazing and fascinating. So yeah, it's just really sad to see. Okay, a couple of other things. I don't remember if I talked about this. All Starlink dish locations identified via AirTag-like tracking bug. Okay. This is very interesting. How is this? I might be too high to understand. Oh yeah. Thank you, Real Dave Seaman, for reminding me. I want to mention that in the Discord, we're having a raffle for a free patch that I will send you from Ukraine. And as I recall, the specific patch is this one right here. Pretty awesome. And all you have to do is and we're all celebrating Patrick's time. All you have to do is excuse me. All you have to do is go onto the Discord and find the correct room, which Real Dave Seaman remind me. It's the patch room. Okay, brain cells. Okay, I'm struggling, guys. Yeah, it's a bunch of patches. Yeah, it's not just that patch. You're right. Thank you. But go in there, introduce yourself. It's kind of a, talk about who you are. Really, what we're thinking about here is getting an idea of kind of like what resources we have in the community that we're building, you know, and maybe you know someone who knows someone who can help with a project, and we might, as we're working on things and working on ways to help Ukraine, we might go back. I personally, this is what I will do. I'll go back and look at the introductions and say, hey, I wonder, God, we really need somebody who knows about this thing. Maybe I could go back and look at people's introductions and see if anybody, knows something about this thing that we need help with. Thank you, Real Dave Seaman. Patch Raffle Introduce Yourself is the channel you want to post at. Yeah. So, anyway, so there's this bug, okay? And it's interesting that this bug has now been turned into a feature. So, here there, and I'm not sure how I'm too high to explain how it works, but it's very interesting, and I'm going to explore this a lot more because, of course, given my background, I'm very curious about this, how they are using this AirTag like tracking. Notice they don't say, they're not using Apple AirTags. Okay, they're using AirTag like tracking to identify all Starlink dish locations. Okay, I can tell you, to be honest, that I think it's almost impossible that they could not know where exactly every single dish is. It's probably not something that they feel the need to use all the time, but I personally believe that they have to know exactly where every single dish is. Okay. At least within a margin of error, oh, UTV and Ham, thank you, Ken. And thanks for buying all that cool stuff. I will be sending it out to you. So this pisses me off, guys. Hungary's foreign minister visits Belarus despite EU sanctions. Like, when are we going to draw the line? He's talking about expanding ties. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And he says, while saying sanctions don't work, however, Hungary was increasing economic cooperation with Belarus in areas not affected by sanctions. The reasons that sanctions don't work is because countries like Hungary are helping countries like Belarus and Russia get around the sanctions. So at some point, NATO and EU be damned, at some point, sanctions are going to have to be put on Hungary and other countries. They call them secondary sanctions. This is going to have to happen, and that'll have to include Georgia, Turkey, Kazakhstan, what are the other countries? Tajikistan, maybe, China. They're going to sanctions have, we're discussing exactly, Patrick's time, why sanctions have not worked on Russia. I mean, it's like whack-a-mole, it's like whack-a-mole, and you kill them in one place and they pop up someplace else. It's a leaky sieve, and frankly, the Western nations were just not aggressive enough to begin with about they should have pulled the rug out from under Russia. I mean, anybody could see that obviously they're going to need to impose secondary sanctions, obviously. And I mean, Germany and even the Baltic countries are complicit in this. There's still a lot of trade going over the border, like in Lithuania, for example. I mean, Patrick's time, that is not true. The sanctions are not hurting the West more than Russia. I can tell you that. Russia's economy doesn't matter that much. But where they could hurt the West is if and when the United States and the EU and other countries start to feel the need to impose secondary sanctions on China. And that's the biggest issue. Imposing secondary sanctions on China is something that these countries don't want to do because we have so much economic ties with China, and getting into a trade war could destabilize the world economy and further deglobalize the world economy. And, so they're afraid of that. But as you said, Patrick's time, your favorite guy started World War III, and wars are fought on economic levels and monetary levels as well. And so we are headed very much in that direction, I think this is interesting. The U.S. gave sensitive plans for over 1,000 American weapons to Ukraine. And the U.S. has been talking about, we don't know what weapons they are, but we can figure, I'll have an archer. Hungary is like a sleeper agent in the West, aiding and abetting Mordor. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, Patrick's time, Nord Stream being blown up was a really good thing. It was the best thing that could have happened, to be honest. And also, help me. Where is it in Krasnodar? That, hang on, I need to check it. Krasnodar, Ukraine. Let's see. Oil port attack. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, that's right. Ukraine struck an oil base in Krasnodar with Neptune missiles. And this is a big deal because this is not just a refinery. By the way, guys, this Canal 13.
There was a drone and missile attack on the Krasnodar region of Russia. Local Telegram channels reported on this. It is noted that coastal missile complex Neptune.
Here. Yeah, so this Canal 13, I just want to let you know, I think they are, I can't remember. Damn it. I think they're like Azerbaijani or something. But they, I'm telling you guys, Wormtongue Orban, like the Lord of the Rings stuff is real with this shit. Why do you think I went with it? Okay. Anyway, this Canal 13, I just want to point out this YouTube channel here. I want to kind of give them a shout out because they have been basically persecuted by their own government, which as I recall, I believe is Azerbaijan. You can don't quote me on that, but that is where they are stationed. I think head of Baku office. Where is Baku? Is that? Yeah, Azerbaijan. First professional internet team. Yeah, Azerbaijan. That's where they are, and they really do fearless reporting on the Ukraine war, and they're really worth checking out, and I highly recommend. And I'm gonna link the channel here. Okay, yeah, fair, Phillips. You're right. Variable quality. Variable quality. That's true. I have seen new stuff that it was like, what's that? But the fact that they are being persecuted by their own government, mainly for their reporting on Ukraine, means they need our support. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, Patrick's time, you bring up an excellent point. Russia got richer even as the war in Ukraine raged on last year, while the West shed trillions of dollars of wealth. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Russia's economy is fake right now. Yeah. Because what's happening is it's being bolstered because of it's a natural process of the wartime economy. So in other words, something like more than 50% or like 40 or 50% of Russia's budget now is just completely going into war-related things, Defense Department and stuff. And that is providing a boost, but they are not, it's false, it's fake. They're spending money that they don't have. And that's one reason why I just want to point out that this attack was really just so important and significant. And quite frankly, and I know that in many ways it feels like Ukraine and Russia are like trading blows. So Ukraine's taking out energy infrastructure, which is oil and gas energy infrastructure, and Russia's taking out electric energy infrastructure. I think the difference here is, yeah, thank you, Cheryl. Living on savings. Yes, they are literally living on their savings. And okay, I'm trying to stay lucid. The deal is that Ukraine is able, as you can see, my lights are on. Okay, Ukraine is able to rebuild that electrical infrastructure much faster than Russia can rebuild its oil infrastructure. Okay, it's going to be a long time, if ever, that Russia is able to, repair this. And how many of these large oil ports does Russia have? Well, you've got Arkhangelsk. You've got, just to give you guys a sense of, so I don't think the Krasnodar port is the only port. So it's down here, I believe, in Novorossiysk. I could be wrong, but I think it's coming out of here. Okay. So that's the big oil port. And then I think they've got one up here in Rostov-on-Don. And then Arkhangelsk, which is right up here, which, okay, it's up here somewhere, but it's only available. It's not available 100% of the year. And then the other oil ports, international oil ports that they have are, the former Port Arthur, which is Vladivostok. And then over here on Sakhalin Island, former Japanese territory here in Korsakov. And those are too far away for Ukraine to attack right now. But just the fact that cutting them down to only being able to use these two ports for international oil shipping 100% of the time is going to have a massive effect on Russia's ability to continuously bring in oil money, regardless of what Europe and the other countries decide to do. And I know that there are also pipelines going into Turkey and things, but they're just picking it off one by one. Draft. Yeah. So Patrick's time, the word draft actually means to pull. That's actually what it means. So you're right. We use it as the correct term is conscription. Okay. But in English, we use the term draft for conscription because the army comes and literally pulls you off the street or out of the general population. And that's where the word comes from. But no, the whole picking people off the streets, there were some overzealous overzealous recruiters last year in Ukraine. And the thing about it is Ukraine is a democracy. So when people see their government doing, at least when a percentage of people see their government doing things that they don't like, they raise a fuss. And let me tell you, the Ukrainian politicians have felt that fuss. And Ukraine does need to implement a draft. It's shocking that they haven't yet. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're just waiting for me to join. I don't know. But anyway, I want to go back to this point here. So I've heard these, or I've seen these discussions where the White House is saying, we want to give Ukraine essentially the ability to build its own weapons. That's what they want. I mean, that's good and bad, though, because it's an unrealistic expectation, for one thing, for Ukraine to be able to have that capacity in the middle of a war with a larger state. But then also, it kind of reeks of I don't know, like, oh, okay, Ukraine, we helped you for a couple of years. Now you're on your own. That's kind of what it smells like to me. And we just need to be really watchful, as citizens of democracies, except for you, Patrick, as citizens of democracies, to make sure that we can't let, and I don't think that's going to happen. We can't let our countries, drop the ball. So many amazing things happened this week, and I haven't even talked about the fact that, and let's talk about this, Patrick. You're like the star of the show today. The fact that now Germany, France, basically every country now is saying, yeah, go ahead. And now even America is saying, you can use our weapons on Russian soil. Even Germany has said this because they pulled their heads out of their ass. And I know I talked about it, or at least I thought about it in my brain. Especially when the F-16s come, and they're coming. Okay. There's no amazing wall going up through the sky. Are you supposed to wait until the jets don't cross, the SU, whatever they are, don't cross the border? They launch their bombs from way back here, 45 kilometers at least out. So it's an unrealistic expectation to say that Western weapons can't be used in Russia, on Russian territory. And so, I'm glad that, and that also reminds me, Sweden, AWACS, I know it's not an AWACS, but I'm just, Ukraine. This is a big significant thing. And man, I really, really wanted to, AS 890. I really, really wanted to talk about this this week. And I was just so sick. But so it has an 450 kilometer range of the radar. Yeah, right here. Okay. So I'm hoping I wanted to do it this week, but I just don't have the brain cell capacity. But I'd like to, somebody, probably the Russians have already done it, but somebody ought to be able to map out. Yeah. How much does that add to Ukraine's radar detection capacity? Because as we know, NATO is flying AWACS all along the borders, and then they've got also surveillance drones flying back and forth across the Black Sea. Okay, and that extends so far into This is the sort of thing Andrew Perpetua could do, you know. Oh my gosh, I didn't see you guys talking. I was scrolled all the way down. I was scrolled too far up, and I didn't see all the stuff you guys were talking about. Sorry. That's a good point, Bell. If it is to be war, then let it be in my time so that the children can live in peace. Standing up to a raging homicidal nation is a cult, then I am a priestess. Nice. Oh, that's not true. According to Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index, Ukraine, that's not true. First of all, that's corruption perception. Ukraine, we've already talked about this. Corruption Index 2024. Yeah. So there you go. Ukraine's less perceived as being less corrupt than Russia. How do you like that? Anyway, yeah, the perception does not always meet reality. Ukraine's changing really, really fast. But everybody here just assumes that Ukraine is corrupt because we've all... Dimitri, SkruffyTalez, by the way, is really cool. He has some really cool stuff. I'm sorry I missed so many interesting statements, guys, because I'm not managing well. I tried the webcam. Oh, Cheryl, my computer systems are outdated. Oh, no. It's okay. I actually used a cell phone for my first 6 months teaching English here. A cell phone and a tablet. I had a tablet. Okay. This is a cult. All right. Funny. Okay. All right. Sorry, I just had to catch up there. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just really curious about how much that extends the range, because remember that this plane, I hope that they will not fly them, and I think they're getting 2 if I'm not mistaken. I think they're getting 2. How much will that extend? Because they need to keep these AWACS out of the range of the S-400s, right? So I would like to see overlapping ranges of S-400s, overlapping ranges of the NATO surveillance, and then where, in what areas are these AWACS going to be able to fly? And with that information, how much more are they going to be able to cover? That would be very, very interesting to me. Okay, let's see. I feel like Patrick's time is getting boring. What do you guys think? You're getting boring, Patrick's time. You were interesting, but now you're getting boring. Say something interesting or I'm going to kick you. Thanks. Okay, guys, listen, to be honest, here's what I will say. I believe on this raffle for a drone. Now, I haven't had a chance to check PayPal recently. I'm going to go full screen now. There we go. I haven't had a chance to check on PayPal, but I know that on Buy Me a Coffee, we're at $235. Or maybe I'm at, no, don't count me on that. Don't quote me on that. But I would really remember that I'm going to meet with this drone team next weekend. And I would really like to be able to take another drone with me. Oh, okay. Yeah, he left. Darn. Okay. I really yeah, so that's that. I think I have to end my stream now. We hurt past Patrick's feelings. No, I think he earned enough of his bonus. They got to be paid based on how many posts they make and stuff. And so I'm sure they must like take screenshots or something. I'm interested. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'd really like to do, guys, is I'd love to be able to have this raffle finished. If I am feeling better, so I'm planning my next live stream for Thursday. I'm planning to leave on Friday. I haven't bought a train ticket yet, but I'm planning to leave on Friday to go, and then I'll visit the drone team Saturday and Sunday. Oh, hey, Sally. Yeah, I know. Okay, thanks for coming. Oh yeah, man, water and fruit like crazy. He earned enough eggs for today. Elvin Archer. It's a funny shit. Oh, you guys are killing me. Okay. What was I gonna say? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and do another live stream between now and Thursday. If I'm well enough to do so, I will. Just yeah. And yeah, there's other stuff I wanted to talk about, like Donald Trump. No, we're not talking about Donald Trump. I want to talk about this. Fair enough, Bell. I am going to try and take it easy this week. That's true. But I am getting better. I'm much better than I was yesterday. Or shit, Friday. Oh, God. It hit me on Wednesday. And I was in denial. Anyway, I won't tell you the whole story. But they're paid per cost and per reply. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you, guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Yeah, I've literally got like so much tea here. I've got like 2 of these with tea in them and a bunch of other stuff. So, so yeah, please, if you can now, I know that I have not set up yet. I'm going to set up the raffle on here as well. I just got a little bit distracted. So for right now, the raffle is here, or if you send it to my PayPal, there's a lot. Oh, Patrick's. Oh, you're back. Okay. No, I'm leaving now, Patrick. But there's a lot of Ukrainians still available to fight for sure. Lots and lots. And as long as we keep killing you and your friends, and the amount of training is increasing, and the training is getting better. It was a month, and now it's not just a month. It's every day that they're not on the front lines, they train. Okay, so they spend a week on the front lines, and then they spend a week off the front lines. And when they're not on the front lines, they're training. So yeah, maybe they only get a month and or sometimes 3 months. Usually they get a month of basic training, and then anywhere between 2 weeks to a month of when they go to a specific unit, they get trained in that unit. But then, as long as we keep killing Russians faster, at the rate that we've done this past month, the Russians are going to run out, as long as we keep getting weapons and artillery, Thanks, Patrick. Thank you. I thank you for wishing me luck. I wish I could say I return the favor, but I don't. I want you to come here and die, please. All right, guys. This has been a great live stream. I didn't think it was going to go this well. Thank you very much for coming. Slava Ukraine. Yeah, we're sick of you. We're sick of you, Patrick's time. Do побачення, everybody. Slava Ukraine.